I just got to see Am I Racist? This will be a fun one to talk about in this channel. Part of me didn't want to talk about it, but then I thought, this might get me some views. Being honest, guys, you want me to lie? I mean, come on. Now, of course, I just want to, from the offset, before I even talk about this movie, mention the obvious fact. I'm not going to be one of these reviewers that says, I'm going to go in incredibly objective and you will never be able to guess my political stance on this film. I'm not going to be one of those reviewers. I'm going to tell you exactly where I'm coming from before you watch this so you know what type of review you're getting, because this is the type of film that where you are, kind of politically speaking, is going to influence your viewing experience on a film like this. So, of course, this is a film made by Matt Walsh and starring Matt Walsh, who comes from The Daily Wire. The Daily Wire being Ben Shapiro's sort of media network, a media center that it leans towards the right. It's more conservative, obviously. And this is a film that is really made to be like an own the libs film. If you're somebody who is a lib or considers yourself part of the left, you might automatically hate this film without watching it, although it's really not a film that is like super, fuck you if you're a left-wing person. It's really not. But if you're somebody who is on that side, you're not gonna like this movie. And if you're somebody who's on the opposite side, you're probably gonna find this movie really funny. If you're somebody in the middle, like myself, I would like to think, who's just kind of looking for a fun movie that's a little bit of informative on a topic that's kind of stupid, you might also enjoy this movie. I had a good time with this one. So that's kind of where I stand. I'm on the middle of this, but I just told you if you want to click off the review now, if you're on the left, you might not love this movie. You might, if you go in with an open mind, find some stuff that you enjoy. If you're on the right, you'll love it. But what is Am I Racist? Am I Racist is a film where Matt Walsh, this guy who obviously is a conservative journalist, a conservative spokesman at the Daily Wire, sort of goes undercover to try to study this weird anti-racist movement that's going on in this country. This weird movement over the years where we've all been kind of fighting racism with more racism. It's just I think we can all agree it's odd. But the approach of this movie is to definitely make kind of like a weird Jackass-style mockumentary thing where Matt Walsh goes undercover into these different groups that preach anti-whiteism and all that weird stuff and just let him talk about it. That's the whole point of this movie, so just let him talk about it, and at times Matt Walsh will instigate and try to do funny things. At the core of this movie, I will say it is informative. You get to hear from pretty much every side. Maybe not a full-on, kind of argumentative point of view from both sides, but you get to see what this film is actually trying to target in its conversation. This idea of racism and how we are kind of oddly fighting it as a culture by hating white people. And I think that's the honest conversation this film is trying to have through also being silly. And there are times in this movie where it really, really works. There are a few different interviews that are conducted with some very important people that I thought were extremely effective in displaying kind of how stupid a lot of our society is, how dumb a lot of this movement kind of is. There are other conversations with important people that kind of are more informative. They have interesting and good things to say about certain aspects. This is not a film that is totally targeted to just be one-sided. Like, it is a film that is openly having a conversation and also openly making fun of some people that, if you watch the movie, are kind of deservingly being made fun of. Because this movie at times is really entertaining. At other times, it's a movie that tries way too hard to be entertaining. It's my biggest gripe with this film, is there are times where Matt Walsh comes off as just kind of annoying. He's not very funny in some scenes, and he's clearly trying to make a disturbance. And I understand kind of the attempt here of trying to be like a Borat character, but Matt Walsh is not Borat, and there are some scenes where the camera's down and we're letting these people talk about anti-whiteism or whatever, all this stuff that's going on, and honestly, just let them talk, because what they're saying is entertaining and stupid and hilarious, but then he'll come in and do stupid stuff, and it just doesn't work. He's not as funny. But then there are other aspects where he is actually being absolutely hilarious. Mainly in the third act of this film, there is a segment where he leads sort of a fake panel, a fake workshop. Brilliant. It was really funny. This film, from like a filmmaking point of view, is made well enough. Yet again, it is definitely trying to be a Borat-type film. It's trying to take that concept and do a weird study of it. There are moments that I wish that he would bring in kind of more level-headed left-wingers, because he's, with this film, and one of the main problems I do have with it is he takes kind of this far left side of the argument, this far left side that are a bunch of crazy people, the same way the far right, bunch of crazy people. You take a far left opinion and they just kind of amplify that opinion throughout the entire film, and it sort of paints it as everybody on that side thinks this way. And I'm not sure that's really how it works. Maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not a political channel. I don't study this shit. But I think one of the messagings in this movie is that all of this crazy stuff you hear these people saying, this is the wide opinion of everybody on that side, and all of this normal stuff you're hearing this side say is the overall opinion of everybody on that side. And honestly, we all know that's just, life just doesn't work like that. It's everybody on both sides has crazy opinions, and the political world in this country is kind of fucked right now. We all hate each other, and we don't really understand why. And I wish the film would try to further kind of connect with people on both sides and connect them together and sort of get some understanding of what the hell's actually going on. But this is a topic that, I mean, some of the opinions of some of the people that are featured in this movie are so stupid. You just gotta be honest. I don't know anybody in my life, because I know people on both sides of the equation. I love people on both sides of the equation. I don't know anybody that would agree with some of the shit that people say in this movie. It's hilarious, though. It is entertaining, and that is what I mostly got out of this movie. I went in with an open mind. I came out thoroughly entertained. I do have some problems with the movie. I don't think it is the best-made version of a movie like this. I don't think Matt Walsh is Nathan Fielder levels of awkward and funny to pull off this character in every single scene. Sometimes it really works. Other times, I just didn't find it funny at all. There are times I wish this movie had more of an open conversation instead of just talking about, wow, this side is really, really dumb and everybody else is normal. I think when you do that, you kind of paint more of a divide in this country than there needs to be. But I guess with a topic like this, where it is clear that one side is, at least the people in this movie, are really stupid, then it kind of works, but I don't know, there might be a better way of making a film like this, but I'm not the expert. I also don't want to get too political, so if you're already watching this video and you're already mad about things I said about it, I'm sorry. I could make a much more preachy video, but I don't think anybody subscribed to my channel wants to hear a preachy video. They want to hear me talk about movies, so that's what I'm doing. I will give Am I a Racist a 3 out of 5. It's an entertaining movie that if you are on the right side of the political spectrum, you will probably find this to be a 4 or a 5. And if you are on the opposite side of the spectrum, or anybody that is featured in this movie, you're probably giving this a 0. So take that as you will. We're all divided, and our divides will divide our opinions on this film, which is kind of the best kind of filmmaking, if you think about it. Films that are divisive. Those are the best films, aren't they? At least, maybe not this one. I don't know. Make sure to like this video, subscribe for more, turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next one.